Hey everyone, welcome to another video on my channel, and today in this video I am going to tell about a future trade which I recently took in the PSU stocks. Believe it or not, it actually comes as a surprise even to me that within a span of 3 months, that is from December, January, February, I was able to grow my account almost around 60 to 70%. This financial year alone, I have actually grown my account almost close to around 500% by trading equities and futures. You might already be knowing my option trading performance this entire year has been subdued. I am hardly able to achieve close to around 13 to 14% for the entire financial year. But nonetheless, equal amount has been made up by futures and equity trading, where I was able to make around 500%. You might already be aware about the IDFC trade which I had taken previously, and that was based on the momentum. So we saw that IDFC was relatively stronger, so we ended up entering IDFC Bank futures and we made close to around 100% returns on that particular stock alone. But when you look at recently, again the trades in PSU were just based on relative momentum. So what do I actually mean by relative momentum? How exactly I took the entry? Why exactly I exited all of these trades? I'll be explaining in detail in this video. So before we move on, I would also like to tell you, in the description below, I have attached the First Stock account opening link. So by opening an account with First Stock, you'll be getting first 100 orders free or a brokerage credit worth 2000 rupees absolutely free. And you might already be aware of FinTarget. We are also coming out with an advanced platform for option traders who are discretionary traders. So it might be launching in the next 5 to 6 months. And you will also be getting early access to the platform, and you can also use the platform for free by opening the First Stock account using the link below. Make sure you click on the link and open the account. Now moving on to the entire futures trade, right? So let me just explain what exactly the relative strength means and how exactly you can identify a relative strength. So to be honest, the entire process is very simple and seamless. So once I start explaining, you will get a better understanding of the same. Right over here, I have opened the PSU index chart. So this is the BSE Public Sector Index, and as you can see, this index made a peak in the year 2008. Post that, the index consolidated for almost close to around 14 or 16 years before it actually gave the next breakout. The next breakout came 15 years later in 2023 when it broke the previous high. Obviously, when anything is coming out of consolidation for such a long period, we can expect a rally. So the breakout came somewhere during July 2023. So let's go to the daily chart and focus on the month of July 2023. So this is when we actually saw PSU, the entire index, breaking out, right? So now when we actually take a look at Nifty around the same period, so let me just end up opening the chart. So when we take a look at Nifty, even Nifty actually gave a fresh breakout around the time of July 2023. So you can see from July, both PSU index and Nifty have given a fresh breakout. So both of them actually ended up having the initial rally. So you can see that the PSU index also went up. On the other hand, Nifty also ended up going higher. So you can see from the month of July till August, the PSU index was up by almost around 9%, whereas on the other hand, even Nifty from the bottom was up almost around 6%. So I still wouldn't say PSU is relatively very stronger because both have rallied. There is no big differentiator between the two because both the indexes have gone up. But the relative strength actually starts to come in here. So when you actually look at Nifty post this, Nifty slowly started to come down. From the end of July till the end of August, Nifty gradually started to come down. Whereas during the same time, the PSU stocks didn't fall, rather they consolidated. So here you can see some amount of relative strength already building up. While one index is coming down, the other one is just consolidating but not participating in the fall. So this is the first and a clear sign of relative strength in the PSU. Next, when we take a look at it, Nifty now slowly started to recover and started to go high. From beginning of September till maybe mid of September, Nifty had again rallied 5 to 6%, but this time PSUs were much stronger. So they not just broke the all-time high, but they went up almost around 7 to 8% from the previous swing. So you can see here, Nifty is hardly able to break the previous swing right over here, but PSUs have not just broken the swing, but they have already gone close to 6 to 7% higher from that particular point. Again, you can see this is an indication of a relative strength, because while one is just trying to come back to its previous high, the other one has broken its previous high and gone much higher. Next comes the period between mid of September till maybe the beginning of October. So during this time, Nifty again came down and it started to take some support during the previous swing, whereas this particular PSU index just consolidated. It didn't even come and test the previous swing, right? So it just consolidated, and throughout the fall of Nifty, it didn't even participate. Then came the worst fall, where markets fell almost close to around 6-7% just in a week. So market had broken the previous swing. So you can see that this was the previous swing. So during this fall, market didn't just break the previous swing and also tested the previous low. Whereas you can look at the PSU, it didn't even come closer to the previous swing. So by this time, it has already built up quite a lot of relative strength. So while Nifty is falling, it is just consolidating. While Nifty is going up, it is going up double. Next, what happens is what gives me the confirmation that PSUs have now actually gained a lot of relative strength. So from this bottom, you can see Nifty came up by almost close to around 6 to 8% in the next 1.5 months. But during the same time, you can see the PSU index was actually up by 15%, whereas Nifty was just up by 6%, and it had given a fresh all-time high breakout. And this was the time of the election, and so you can see a gap up in both index, and both of them broke an all-time high. And post that, what has happened is PSU banks continuously continue to maintain this relative strength. So that's the reason end of December I actually started to enter some PSU stocks, because I could clearly see some relative strength. First, Nifty had given a fresh all-time high breakout. So when you take a look at the monthly chart, so end of November, Nifty gave a fantastic breakout. From December, I slowly started entering futures. So how do I pick the futures? It is very simple. So whichever stock is showing relative strength, whichever sector is showing relative strength, you just enter that particular sector. So Nifty itself is looking strong. So obviously the sectors which have relative strength will perform much better than sectors which don't. So now I'll end up opening my first stock account and show you the trades. So right over here, I have logged into my father's demat account. So you might be aware that initially in the year, I started trading in my mother's demat account, where I was trading futures and equities. And in my demat account, I was trading options. Both the accounts were started with 50 lakh each. So then what I did is, after the IDFC trade, for tax purposes, I transferred all the stocks from one account to another account, and I started trading in this account. Maybe I'll make a new video separately on why exactly I shifted and how exactly it is going to help in the taxation. But now coming to this account, so you can clearly see right over here, right now the value of this account is close to around 2.2 CR, where I have already withdrawn well over 30 lakh. So all in all, it's close to around 2.5 CR, and the account was just started with 50 lakh. So by futures and equities, we have actually got a return of close to around 500% this particular year. So let me just go to reports, go to the P&L report, and show you from November. November is when I actually started shifting from my mother's account to my father's account. I'll put F&O and click on submit. So you can see that the reports are now loaded. And when you take a look at the realized profit, it is around 94 lakh. And when you look at the net realized profit after all the brokerage and charges, it is close to around 90 lakh. So this number was well over 1 CR, but recently in the PSU crash, so hardly that is 2-3 days before, I ended up exiting everything. So now I'm making a video as to why exactly I entered and what was the logic I used. So when I actually start scrolling down, so before that, I will also generate a verified P&L link, and I will be attaching that in the description. So make sure you check that out. Now, when we start looking at the individual trades, so we'll just leave Nifty, Bank Nifty, and Fin Nifty, which are option trades, right? So you can see Bank of Baroda right over here. And as I scroll down further, leaving Bank Nifty, you can see BEL, BHEL, BPCL, Canara Bank. So all of these are PSU stocks, right? So even Bank of Baroda is a PSU stock. So as I further scroll down, you can see IRCTC, then MGL. MGL is also a PSU stock, which is Mahanagar Gas, and we also have some HCL and IDFC. Again, you can see ONGC, PNB, REC, SPI. So again, all of these are list of PSU stocks. So you can see more than close to around 80% of my future trades have been in PSU stocks alone because PSU was relatively stronger. First, it started with power finance companies like PFC, REC, where they ended up rallying. So then it was followed on to railway stocks like Railtel, RVNL, or IRFC. So then it was followed on to power stocks like NTPC, Power Grid, and NHPC, and much more. Then it went on to metal stocks like Coal India, SAIL, and much more. And then it came to oil companies like MGL, ONGC, and finally to oil marketing companies like HPCL, BPCL, and IOC. And right now, it is actually in the PSU banking space. So relatively one after other, the stocks are seeing some kind of strength. So now the question comes, why exactly did I exit all the trades? So currently I'm not holding any trade. So why did I come to this situation, or what made me exit everything, right? So when you take a look at this particular chart of the PSU index, so you can see the strength was such that so every time we saw a big red candle, so you can see this was a 4% candle. Immediately next day there was a follow-up buying, and once it ended up breaking the swing high. So you can see right over here, this broke the swing high and it never really came back. It came back, took support, and went up further. Again, few weeks later, we saw a big red candle. So here you can see what again happened. So we saw a followed up very strong buying. Post that, once the swing broke, it never really came back. But this time a similar thing happened. So there was a big red candle, follow up buying. We broke the swing. So once the swing was broken, you can see the same kind of strength has not been seen. Here you can see once the swing broke, we further continued to rally, right? So here you can see again once the swing broke, we further continued to rally. But here we are consolidating rather than rallying. That means the strength has been slowly and steadily coming down. So when you take a look at this chart, so right now again you can see today the entire PSU stocks recovered. So this might be maybe beginning of the rally, middle of the rally, or the late part of the rally. So I really don't know which stage of the rally are we in. So it might also happen from 18,000, PSU index might also go to 25,000 and start going up from here. That possibility certainly exists. But I have no regrets in booking everything because I, at this particular point, feel that my position size was quite high. So if I don't exit it on time, so it is not possible to make a huge gain unless you size your positions quite a lot. So my maximum risk at any point in time was almost around 20%. So I let most of the PSU stocks run. So since I was taking such kind of a risk, so even my rewards were higher. So whenever the risk is so high, if I don't cut things on time, it might also backfire. So whenever I saw even little bit of weakness in PSU stocks, I decided to come out of the entire momentum trade. I might enter one more stock at momentum once I start to see that they have relative strength. So that might happen in future, but at least for now, so I am done with trading PSUs. I might again re-enter PSU or some other stock. It depends on which gives a convincing breakout. The next sector which I'm actively tracking is Nifty IT. So even this is on the verge of a very good breakout. So you can see right over here, even this was a pretty good breakout, I would say. So even here we are breaking all-time high in Nifty IT, and even Nifty is looking strong. Nifty also has hit a new all-time high. So this is one more sector where I'll be looking for relatively stronger stocks. So this way, I'll be maybe looking at entering future trades maybe later on. So this was the entire logic behind entering my PSU trades and taking the exit. So I hope this video was insightful and simple, because all I try to do is try to keep the logic very simple. I don't use any indicator, any support and resistance. I just purely went on the overall sentiments in the market. So that was, one was looking relatively stronger to the other, and both had given an all-time high breakout. So the market was looking stronger. So I went with the stronger sector. So with this, we also come to the end of this video. I hope this video was insightful. If so, hit the like button, share this video, and also subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for joining, guys.